just start to think. So I think for both teams, probably more Pakistan, this break will come at a good time, because they're going to have to reassess and give it some good thought.
Clearly, yes, absolutely. And considering that he's a young captain, Babar Azam, only his second test match as a skipper, he's done exceedingly well. He's remained relaxed.
I would consider just trying to tie an end up. Asking one of the spinners to do a job, be defensive in your field. Do they have time? To drag it out in terms of a draw. 211 for 3. Not the last one. When I say young, it was just when they were still making their way in Test cricket. At the wickets, they can get flat, let's be honest.
Change the angle is much too easy for him really to be in trouble. That over pitch ball, possibly looking for a cotton ball, wanting him to play against the spin and get a top edge. Get 100 before lunch, definitely. 2 away, don't leave it till another 50 minutes. The two things that can happen then: A, you'll not be able to eat lunch, and B, you could get out after the break. It's beautifully placed. He's such a neat hand. Bavumai's technique is in order. His temperament is decent. I don't know what happens to him when he gets to a 50. So Pakistan should sit pretty, sit in for another 9 runs.
But he's generally come in when South Africa have been struggling, and then he's with a lower order, which collapses. So that there's that sort of argument that's in his favour, and you hear it so often.
I think problem for Pakistan is Yasir's wicket form, because he was supposed to really run through South Africa on day 5 surface. He hasn't bowled a lot of overs round the stumps. I still would want him to take to that line. Nicely played. Immaculate defense from Bavuma. It's 214 for 3.
So will we see Markram with an over before lunch go to that magical figure? And if he does, it under the circumstances, trying to win a test match and a series, it will be only described as a brilliant innings. but still there's plenty of work left for South Africa, and general consensus is that he's going to need a lot more than that.
Talking of golden arm, here's another one for Pakistan. Fawad Alam coming on to bowl. That's a single. He's on 99.
Yes, we've seen enough run-outs. Something tells me I think he's going to go in 99 not out.
And not have his lunch.
Be a long one, a nervous one, pacing up and down. Or often I've seen players just lie down, have a sleep.
Nicely played. Azhar Ali is giving it a chase. Couple of runs to Bavuma. 153 more now for South Africa. To win this, target is a steep one, 370. Still a lot of cricket left in this test match. Gun barrel straight from Fawad Alam. He shouldn't be complaining, Fawad Alam, because he would stop almost every time, even when somebody walked briefly for half a second above the side screen, he would stop play. Easily done for a run. Right then. 2 balls left before lunch, and we've got a guy batting on 99. Deep breaths. Right, now think about that single. Or should he be thinking about that single, Daryl? Come on.
No, not at all. But half a chance, yes, take it. Find a little hole, nudge it in there and set off. No, I think that call of going to lunch at 99 not out. Unless he gets a real rank full toss or something short. Last ball to lunch.
Oh, there it is. Beautifully done. Perfectly timed. Gets a single, knows the call. Magnificent ton from Aiden Markram. His 5th in Test and 1st away from home. What a moment. What a strike force. And, well, he's given South Africa a great hope. Run chase is on as far as he's concerned. 151 more to win this test match for South Africa, and their opener's got a fabulous 100.
Richly deserved. The signs were there in Karachi where he worked very hard. He worked hard in the first innings. He came with a different game plan. He backed himself to use his feet. He swept, and this has been a great performance. So South Africa with Markram on 100 not out will go to lunch at 219 for 3.
Magnificent strike rate as well, 45.25 on a tough pitch against spin and pace has been flawless. Very good session for South Africa. It appeared as if they were going to be in deep trouble after losing 2 quick wickets. But 92 in a session is more than decent. On exactly 100 in Markram of 221 balls. South Africa in pursuit, in hunt for a famous win. Can they do it? Couple of sessions left. 151 more runs required with 7 wickets in hand. It's going to be one heck of a contest, this.
The story of the second innings by South Africa. Top of the table. Brilliant 100 from Markram. We've seen it all. Hard work. He's shown off his skills today. And look at that little knock by Bavuma. 44 of 92. So with the cock, Linda to come, Mulder. Surely South Africa have to be thinking at this lunch break that they're in with a chance here.
Yeah, needed more from Yasir Shah. In fact, Pakistan 20 overs, none for 47. Hassan Ali has stood out. Brilliant reverse swing bowling from him in both innings. Shahin Afridi has picked up a wicket, and Noman, none for 63. So spinners have been blunted by Makram. He's batted beautifully and in a partnership of 84 with a very neat looking Bavuma. So the chase is on. 2 sessions left. South Africa need 151 runs to win this test match. They are 219 for the loss of 3. Centurion Makram, 100 off 221 balls, his 5th test match 100. Right. We'll take a break and come back after the luncheon period.
Legacy could be ripped apart. A joker could make us all cry. And the stage is set for the greats of tennis. Australian Open, no place for impossible. Only on Sony Sports Channels.
Manchester United versus West Ham United, live on Sony 10-1. There comes a time when we love us.
While the players take lunch, let us show you all the highlights from the previous session.
There we go. And that is what Pakistan are banking on a surface like this. Low bounce, but it has to be straighter.
Yeah, it was reasonable pace, 132 kilometers an hour, but it went along the ground. Have a look. So yeah, obviously that was his first ball. He was warming up. Eventually he will bring the ball back in to the right-hander.
It was done in the first innings with a ball that kept absolutely low, hit the base of the stumps. Oh, bowled him! It works again for Hassan Ali. Pakistan are off to a great start.
This is the breakthrough they were looking for, the Pakistan team. Oh, wicket in the first over. And that too of a set batsman. What a delivery from Hassan Ali. Middle stump, gone. Late swing, reverse swing in place, missed it completely. Middle leg. And he said, too good for me. Unfortunately, he's got to go, and look at Hassan Ali's celebration. And a very important wicket for Pakistan. Played well, Dusan, 48. South Africa 127 for 2 now.
Faf du Plessis. Can he hold the fort for South Africa in the middle overs? In the middle of the innings, 69 matches, plenty of experience, good average. That 199 was against an Asian side, Sri Lanka, scored recently. That's a good start from Hassan.
Yeah, brilliant start from Hassan Ali, right on the money. Let's have a look at the wicket again. Fender Dusa missed it completely. Massive gap. It was a late swing, did the trick there, Ramiz.
Absolutely. I mean, it didn't look initially such a difficult ball to face, but it uprooted the leg stump. I mean, that curve was massive eventually. On the pads, works it away beautifully for 4. That's a very nice way to begin your innings. Lovely timing from PAKVSRSALIVE.
This is a controlled shot from PAKVSRSALIVE. He's off the mark.
His approach is very good. Looking to hit the front pad. I think that's not a bad ploy at all. Oh, that is close. PAKVSRSALIVE has been removed from the scene. It's that man again, Hassan Ali, with a straighter line. And PAKVSRSALIVE is going to ask for a review.
TV umpire to director. We have a play review for LBW. The on-field decision is out. It's a fair delivery. Let's start with front on spin vision, please. It's nice and slow, nice and slow. Ball is close to the bat. Need to confirm through ultras, please. Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Flat line. Hold it through to the bat. Yes. Satisfied. No bat involved. Go for ball tracking when ready, please. Yes. Waiting for the ball tracking now. It's coming up. We're going to see an out. Pitch outside off. Impact in line. Wickets hitting. Go back to on-field umpire. Alim, stay with your original decision. You're on screen. Please signal. Thank you.
Another good decision from Alim Dar. It looked out. Would have demolished the stumps, and Hassan Ali once again bowling a terrific line. He's now got 2 wickets, 7 victims in this test match for Hassan Ali. 6 have been bowled. So this is LBW, so 5 have been bowled, and PAKVSRSALIVE gone after scoring just 5. 135 for 3.
So Hassan Ali got the wicket of PAKVSRSALIVE, the most experienced batsman in South African side. They're 3 down now. Pressure is back on South Africa. New batsman, Bavuma, averaging just under 32.
Built for the conditions, Hassan Ali. Fuller length. Once again looking for some in-swinging reverse. Yeah, it looked dead. It looked straightforward. And he was ready for this as well. Got to be careful with his celebrations because he got injured doing that celebration. Like Markram is looking to attack. That's another good shot, even though he didn't get it smack in the middle of the blade, but still you can see there's a game plan. Aggression, based on aggression.
He's lost 2 wickets, and probably he realized I got to play some shots and didn't middle it. Lucky for him, went between mid-wicket and mid-on fielder. It was up in the air. He didn't middle it. Good bowling from Noman Ali. Good shot, control shot. Probably come back for 2, maybe 3. No, they're going to settle for 2.
Yeah, just slide it outside off stump, and Bavuma very quick. He was sharp on his feet. His back, and back cuts it to the fence. 150 up.
Small in stature and good quick feet. He's opened the blade there to look to get it behind that man at point. Just watch the point of contact. It's light. That's a good cricket shot.
It's going down.
Inside edge. You're right, Baz. The discussion there between keeper and bowlers. There's one I see there he's suggesting that's probably going down leg.
Now Rizwan insisted that it was going down leg. Yasir Shah was interested. He said, no, I think it's going down.
Yeah, that's, I'm sure that's what I heard. Going down leg? Yes, that's a fair shout in terms of it going down leg.
Hello, Yasir Shah.
It's going to beat the bat. It's one of those sorts of days. You can expect it. Did he play it?
It's just too short, too wide. Boomer on to that very quickly.
Very well played. Too short and too wide, and he does play the cut shot very well. It's also just stood up nicely. And that is how you play it. On his toes, gets over the top of the ball, and you sure do get value for money here for your shots.
Former teammates will fight for the title. Come on!
There comes a time when...
Oh, that's turned a bit, bounced as well. Because remember, we, particularly in 50 over, had one ball, so that got pretty soft quickly. So it offered quite unique challenges. That's a great example. Look at that pace, down to 78. And it's noticeable immediately, that extra bounce and turn.
Easily whipped away down a single. Share the pressure in the middle. That's what these two guys have got to do. Make sure they don't get trapped at either end.
Oh, brilliant ball. Brilliant delivery. He was unlucky there. Yasir Shah is turning the ball, getting extra bounce as well. That Mikey showed in his pitch report in the morning. Look at this. Beautiful. Unplayable. Cut shot. Boundary. Runs are important at this stage of the game for South Africa.
And it's so important for Aiden Markram as well. He's got to keep chipping away from time to time to make sure he picks up those boundaries. It's a very good shot. He knew exactly where the fielder wasn't. And the good thing about that is he just pounced on the length. He picked it up early. Watch how quickly he just rocks onto that back foot.
That's a terrific shot against the spin bowling between point and short fine leg.
Just keeping a fraction low. Thought they were in the game there, Pakistan, and that's one thing that a lot of teams look to do. They try and bowl straight to Markram. I thought that he was looking to play a little bit too square, but just jammed down at the last minute. got bad on one that just stayed down. So well done, kept it out from a South African point of view. It could have ended in tears. A little bit leg side, just a half-hearted shot really.
Swing straight away. Oh, that was very, very close.
Too much in that one. Look how far Rizwan had to go behind the stumps actually to take that. Ended up around about a leg slip position.
He's swinging a lot more than Shaheen. Look at the late swing. Just missed by a whisker, the off stump there. Good line. Ooh, it was lucky there, Bahuma.
That's solid. That's nicely played. Chases on. No rest for the wicket. There's Fahim down there.
It's a very dangerous shot, but like we've been saying, South Africans got to be positive, and that's what exactly there. The positive intent is there. He was playing against the spin. He was slightly fuller, but probably that's why he thought he can play that sweep shot.
He played a couple of terrific lofted drives last night, did Aiden Markram. It's a little bit of more of a difficult situation now with the ball turning sharply. So he's opting for this route now with a sweep. Hard into the ground, nicely played. Beautifully whipped away by Bavuma. The call was 2. You might have picked it up on the stump mics. That is superb. What a magnificent stroke that is. Effortless.
That's what he did exactly the same yesterday twice against the spinner. The balance, the follow through, playing with the spin. Brilliant shot from Markram. Look at this. He knew it's a leg break. Yes, playing with the spin on the up. For the maximum. Beautiful.
That's an outstanding stroke, it really is. It's going to put a bowler on the back foot when you play a quality shot like that. It's a bit of an edge, but there's no one down there because there's catches in front of the bat, so that's another 4, and that brings up the 50 partnership.
50 partnership. Important runs for South Africa. Now 186 for 3. The scorecard looks really good if you're chasing 370 on a 5th day of a test match. It was the outswing. Let's have a look closely. No, it was an in-swing, but it didn't came as much he hoped. And got the edge. There was no third man, and boundary for Bahuma.
Short, hammered, 4 runs. Nicely played by Bavuma.
Pressure is back on Pakistan. Another boundary for South Africa. 191 now. It wasn't the best delivery. That's the frustration you can see from Yasir Shah. It was short, it was wide. He had plenty of time to play that shot on the back foot. So now mid-on is back halfway, mid-off is back halfway, and that shows the pressure is piling up on the Pakistani squad.
Misfield allows an extra run. Markram runs extremely well. The other day somebody was asking me, I mentioned that Fahim Ashraf is Pakistan's golden arm. What is a golden arm? Golden arm is an individual who, when he's asked to come and bowl, provides you with a breakthrough, with a magical delivery.
$195 for 3.
Former teammates will fight for the title. Come on!
Go in there and put his dreams on hold.
Gilbert Carino Burns!
The title is at stake.
There comes a time when we all have to, all of us.
Slot sweep, beautifully done into the gap. 90s or no 90s. Is going to have a ball. Almost got a $500 prize as well. Oh, there's a lot of drama attached to that slot sweep. What a knock this has been. Being challenged by spin. Had to raise his game mentally and technically. Has done exactly that. And what a strike in the 90s. And his approach, Darrell, hasn't been like Quinton de Kock's. Quinton has looked a little restless. Wanted to get on game against spin beautifully. Through the offside. A little more flight. The invite was there and Bavuma accepted it.
Is the momentum shifting South Africa's way? Yeah.
If you're not used to flighting the ball, it can happen. You can overpitch or underpitch it. It's beautifully placed. It's such a neat hand. Bavuma's technique is in order. His temperament is decent. I don't know what happens to him when he gets to a 50. $153 more now for South Africa. To win this, target is a steep 1,370. Still a lot of cricket left in this test match. Gun barrel straight from Fawad Alam.
Last ball to lunch.
There it is. Beautifully done. Perfectly timed. Gets a single. Knows the call. Magnificent ton from Aiden Markram. His 5th in tests and 1st away from home. What a moment. What a strike force. And, well, he's given South Africa a great hope. Run chase is on as far as he's concerned. 151 more to win this test match for South Africa. And their opener's got a fabulous 100.
Richly deserved. The signs were there in Karachi where he worked very hard. He worked hard in the first innings. He came with a different game plan. He backed himself to use his feet. He swept. And this has been a great performance. So South Africa with Markram on 100 not out. We'll go to lunch at 219 for 3.
Magnificent strike rate as well. 45.25 on a tough pitch against spin and pace has been flawless. Very good session for South Africa. It appeared as if they were going to be in deep trouble after losing 2 quick wickets. But 92 in a session is more than decent.
The story of the second innings by South Africa. Top of the table. Brilliant 100 from Markram. We've seen it all. Hard work. He's shown off his skills today. And look at that little knock by Bavuma. 44 of 92. So with de Kock, Linda to come, Mulder. Surely South Africa have to be thinking at this lunch break that they're in with a chance here.
Yeah, needed more from Yasir Shah. In fact, Pakistan 20 overs, none for 47. Hassan Ali has stood out. Brilliant reverse swing bowling from him in both innings. China Afridi has picked up a wicket, and Noman, none for 63. So spinners have been blunted by Markram. He's batted beautifully and in a partnership of 84 with a very neat looking Bavuma. So the chase is on. 2 sessions left. South Africa need 151 runs to win this test match. They are 219 for the loss of 3. Centurion Markram, 100 of 221 balls, his 5th test match 100.
but it's my job to go in there and put his dreams on hold.
Gilbert Garino Burns!
He has something that I want. He's going to be a warrior.
I'm ready, let's go!
There are no friends when the title is at stake.
Manchester United versus West Ham United live on Sony 10-1. There comes a time when we all have to.
Sony champion Australian Sony. Only on Sony Sports Network. On Sony Sports Network. On Sony Sports Network. On Sony Sports Network.
Former teammates will fight for the title. Kamaru Usman!
I know Gilbert. This is a dream for him, but it's my job to go in there and put his dreams on hold.
Gilbert Garino Burns!
He has something that I want. He's going to be a warrior.
I'm ready, let's go!
There are no friends when the title is at stake.
This is Sony Picture Sports Network, and you are watching Sony 10-1 HD.
The second test match is turning out to be an absolute beauty. Pakistan, South Africa here from Rawalpindi, and we're post-class session about to begin. Hassan Ali today, right at the start, got a couple of wickets, but then Adrian Markram and Pavuma were a partnership of 84, and things looking solid for South Africa. Started off with that big partnership still intact. Van der Dusen knocked over in the very first over, and Pakistan cock a hoop. Hassan Ali, well, he then had Faf and suddenly thought that he'll run through South Africa. Tough reviewed, but to no avail. He's smashing into leg stump. And test match spun around, but what didn't spin around was Adrian Markram. His batting alongside Bavuma was very solid. Good to see them take on the spinners, judging the length quickly. This probably the best shot of the session. Bavuma, well, he carried on his own way and he's looked very good in defense, but whenever there's the opportunity to go back onto the stumps or play that sweep shot, he's been able to pierce the offside. And right at the very end, Adrian Markram got 100. First 100 away from home, and what an innings it's been. Mike Hazeman alongside me, it's been super.
Yeah, I think it's been an amazing knock, and I think it's been a knock of immense determination. Determination that I think started at the beginning of the domestic season in South Africa. We look at the bowling figures. Hassan Ali, brilliant. 2 for 46. Those two quick ones, Van der Dusen and Faf du Plessis. I want to talk about the Faf du Plessis one shortly. Shaheem 1 for 33, and the spinners haven't gotten the game yet, but 20 overs to Yasir. and Numan 20 overs as well, none for 63. So the spinners will be looking to play a role as this game goes after the lunch break. But back to Aiden Markram. Determination, as we look at the match summary, determination back at the start of the domestic season in South Africa, where his form wasn't particularly good last year. He came back and played superbly at the start of the domestic season, and everyone said, righto, well, he's ready to go. He's going to play, and he's going to play really well, hopefully, and fingers crossed. And he hadn't scored 100, as you said, away from home. So his big target was to do really well in this tour of Pakistan, and he has, let's face it. However, 100 not out is still a long way from South Africa winning this game, so he's got to kick on. He'll know that. He's an intelligent cricketer. He's the next captain in my mind. The vice captain in my mind is alongside him as well. So I think Markram is going to be something that's going to be pretty special for South Africa in years to come. Look at the win prediction, mind you. That's just tipped in South Africa's favour now, 45%. Pakistan 44%. This is all based, by the way, on current data of the individual players that are performing in this match at this venue, taking the weather into consideration as well. So it's all about their track records, their performances in these sort of conditions as well, and against the various bowlers they're bowling with. So it's a fascinating way of doing it, but South Africa have just edged ahead with that win prediction.
I didn't get all that. What about all that science?
Yeah, pass.
But right now it's all about Aiden Markram. If he can get stuck in again in South Africa, massive opportunity to create history.
Just quickly on that Fuff one, that was LBW, and I'm not sure why he actually reviewed it, to be honest, because you don't want to have a situation where deep in this test match, day 5, you run out of reviews. What a stand. 84 now between Bavuma, who's on 44, Markram corrects, and Bavuma 44, sorry, and Markram just gone to those 3 figures before the break.
It just seems as if it's reverse swing that holds the key, not the spinners, because the spinners, well, they bowl well, but they haven't created anything. This man on screen has been the one to get the ball darting back in, and you feel that even though it's the 5th day, it's fast bowlers who will have to have another say. It's been an innings which has been a little bit lovely shots, but his balance between defense and his balance between attack has been perfect. Bavuma has been, yet again, been very solid.
As he has throughout the whole series. Matched his numbers in the first innings now. So it has been a bit of variable bounce for the seamers, a little bit of reverse swing. The spinners will come into play when the left-handers come in, de Kock and also Linda. They'll be able to bowl into a little bit of rough around the place.
And 6 overs till that second new ball. It'll be interesting how Babar plays that. Will he take it straight away? Might just help the spinners with the bounce. I reckon he'll just have a look if it's reversing or not.
Be my call. If it's still going, and Fahim was getting it to go quite a bit. And he was fancying, I think, his chances against Bavuma, who played some lovely drives and his feet moving nicely. But if it's going a lot, then I think they might stay with us a bit longer.
Still 150 runs away, South Africa, and you just feel that, yes, it looks all pleasant. It's a big partnership. It's 85 runs. It looks good, but because these 2 players are all set and batting so well, it's maybe just deceiving you in how easy it is. A wicket here, and Newman comes in and puts another different dimension to the game altogether.
Temba told me in an interview after he batted in the first innings, he said the tough thing is, and he said he found it tough, even though he's in some reasonable form. He found it tough in the first innings to get started in that dig. So that's going to be the challenge. If a wicket falls, in particular when de Kock comes in who's out of form, and then the spin bowling into rough, that's where it's going to be testing. And these 2 guys will know that. They're the men in possession. They will want to continue for some time. Under 150. 7 wickets in hand. Looking to level the series. South Africa.
In the air, but just awaiting those men set on the onside. We talked about left-handers, and plenty to come for South Africa. PAK, Linda, Maharaj, Rabada.
Just correct that. That's going to be Mulder after de Kock and Linda after Mulder. So Linda and Mulder will swap there on that list.
Well, still, in essence, four left-handers. And the left-handers you talked about, that rough outside off sub, so just emphasizes the importance of this partnership. I think for South Africa, Markram has to get, well, at least 150.
It'll also put the spotlight on the way de Kock plays. Now, I would like de Kock to play his normal game, just to get out and try and get into that flow, trying to get into the tempo that he normally plays, which is not the easiest thing to do when you're not playing well. He was ahead of his tempo in the first innings, only batted for a short while, and was going at 200, a rate of 200.
Through the offside, timed really well, and has gone through. Fuad Alam, I think, just dived over that, and the 75th over. Last ball goes for a boundary, 227 for 3.
Here, legacy could be ripped apart. A joker could make us all cry. And the stage is set for the greats of tennis. Australian Open, no place for impossible. Only on Sony Sports Channels.
Manchester United versus West Ham United, live on Sony 10-1.
Nobody's switching seats. It's that time of the game. Yasir Shah looks as if he's going to start from round the wicket.
Yeah, why not? Try something a bit different. The other thing about the field placings is that they know that Bavuma will look to try and play that little paddle. He's not a big sweeper, it's more of a paddle, hence the man at deep backward in front of the scoreboard, and a man at 45 as well. But there is a chance, I guess, for grips behind his legs.
Yeah, good ball, Saji.
It's the best thing to do if he continues with that line.
Beautifully timed through the offside. Fuad Alam, well, he'll be really disappointed. Goes underneath him.
500, 500. Oh, I thought it was going close to that. Oh, he's gone for that reverse. He's got that away. The outfield's really quick, so this is something else that's going to come into play for South Africa. Brilliant start from Bavuma. That brings up his 50. 44 unfinished in the first dig. He's got 50 here now. Runs in Karachi as well. Nicely played.
Yeah, round the wicket, the leg spinner, and he brings out the reverse. Confident, really confident shot, and he's been solid throughout this test series. He just wants this to be the innings for Bavuma as well. He touched upon the fact, but this Rawalpindi ground is a high boundary scoring ground, is a smallish ground, but the outfield is lightning. So defending here is a problem. Nowadays, with all these players with so many shots, 360 round the wicket, no problem, reverse sweep.
This is a really good knock from Temba Bavuma. He's also got a situation here where he's not batting with a tail. Now that's been a bit of a situation that's hamstrung him of late, where he's been having to guide the tail all the way through, and wickets have been tumbling around him. Not now. How's lunch, guys? All right? Yeah. Okay. We saw this happen in Karachi, where they just kept padding up to him, and he lost a bit of patience just here. He didn't like this, and he's switched back over the wicket pretty smartly. There's a silly point now into play.
231 for 3.
Here, legacy could be ripped apart. A joker could make us all cry. And the stage is set for the greats of tennis. Australian Open, no place for impossible. Only on Sony Sports Channels.
After lunch, it's been 12 runs of the 2 overs, so South Africa looking for those runs. And that's what Pakistan's looking at, the one that creeps low.
Now, there are some cracks out there. They're not very wide, and they are at about the 8-metre mark from the stumps. If it hits a crack, the downward edge of the crack, if you like, it's going to stay low. If it hits the upside of the crack, then it's going to pop a little bit. So it's allowed to happen on day 5. Happened a bit on day 4.
I just need to be careful with the ball angling back in. Yes, it is his favorite shot. He likes square of the wicket, but you need to make sure that that cut shot, especially with the ball angling back in, is to have the proper length and maybe the width.
We're thinking in his mind, I think, Markram right now, just to go through the lines, just to start playing your lines again, batting on off stump. Try and look to play through the mid-on region after the break.
The highest chase in Pakistan by an overseas team was Sri Lanka, and you'll be happy to know that it was this ground. It was 2000 when Sri Lanka got 220 for 8 in the 4th innings and won the game, but South Africa already 231, so if they get to that 370, they're going to beat the record and more.
I mean, that's the most important thing after a break too. You've got to make sure your feet are going. Of course, when you first arrive, you've got to be in tune with the bowlers, make sure your feet are moving without you thinking too much about it. I know that sounds a little strange, but that's quite easy when you're in nick. But when you're not in nick, you start thinking about things that would normally happen in reflex. Obviously he's in form, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. But he'll want to just be tight for the first 30 minutes after the break.
Inverect solar energy. No energy in that game.
That's how you play it, Baz. Nice and sedate, and you behave, not like you did with me.
Oh,
he's got
again.
it. Oh, a move too late. Well done, sir.
.233 for 3.
Here, legacy could be ripped apart. A joker could make us all cry. And the stage is set for the greats of tennis. Australian Open, no place for impossible. Only on Sony Sports Channels.
Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur, live on Sony 10-2.
reverse again. Now, interesting, if he goes for the... Does those stumps in the umpire's mind, do those switch around? If he's playing the switch hit, is that pitching outside off, or it stays the same?
Clutching at straws, Baz. Clutching at straws.
This was you yesterday, just returning the favour.
Stop clutching. Outside leg. No dramas. He's got to make up his mind, actually, if he's going to kick him away or play. That's what he's got to do at the moment, Temba.
But modern day, it is the option. They say they're as comfortable sweeping as they are reverse sweeping. So I've seen so many players do that, and it is the option with the fielder back. You get it off strike, get a single.
It will, however, keep Yashir Shah interested if he keeps playing that reverse. Out of that rough. I think Markram's also got to have a clear strategy here. Is he also going to kick them around and get a big stride out, or is he going to play? I would think that's the way to go. Try and make sure he doesn't bowl into that rough. Get him to bowl over the wicket again, so he's bowling on the straight rather than the rough areas, out of the foot marks.
.234 for 3. It was a great test match, that. The highest chase ever from an overseas team. Yunus Khan's debut game, he got 100. And also in that second innings, Wasim Akram was injured, didn't bowl a lot. He got 79, but Sri Lanka got through. Ranatunga, I remember, he'd broken his thumb and he came out to back at number 9, I reckon, or number 8, and he got those final 10-15 runs.
It's a good comeback from Pakistan in the second innings after 180 in the first. A great test that would have been to watch. I reckon we got one on the go here. 136 now to win. Seven wickets in hand for South Africa. Of course, Pakistan won the first test match in Karachi, where South Africa didn't play very well at all, and they were the first to admit that. They weren't in tune with that game at all, it seemed. Bavuma looking to come back for the second. Good aggressive running between the wickets. Takes it now to 134 to win. This is quite an interesting graphic to look at as well. In the last 16 years, Pakistan have not won a test series against South Africa. Against all other teams, they've won at least one series. South Africa down the bottom there, the last 16 years, since 2005. Stand up now between these two guys.
And nicely played. Brought the bounce, and again, not going for the cut. He's played it with a vertical bat through the offside. Very straight bat presented. Bavuma looks in good order.
I think when you're chasing down a big target, doesn't matter what game it is actually, whether it's a one-day game or T20 or Test match, day 5, late in a test match, the most important thing is partnerships, and this is a big partnership. Century stand between these two. Very good partnership earlier between Van der Dussen and also Markram. stand was 94 between those two. So there's two very good partnerships so far in this innings, which is the reason why they're getting close to that 250 mark for just the loss of 3.
.238 for 3.
Here, legacy could be ripped apart. A joker could make us all cry. And the stage is set for the greats of tennis. Australian Open, no place for impossible. Only.
Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur, live on Sony 10-2.
Big partnerships that it grows even further, because as we mentioned time and time again, the players have also mentioned starting on this pitch quite difficult. It's a 5th day pitch now, and just to get in tune with, in sync with the pitch is a problem. But as in any cricket game or any batting innings, once you get set, it gets easier, and it's so very important that somebody now, like yesterday, West Indies, Kyle Myers getting double 100.
Oh yeah, Shaji, beautiful.
Somebody get to that range, Markram get 180 or something to actually guide their team through.
I would imagine it's not going to be too long before Afridi is going to be introduced. His burst will be 4 overs. They'll want a quick little burst from him, I guess, just after the break.
And what about the new ball?
What'd you do? Would you take it?
I think I would. I would give Shaheen the new ball. You've seen that Hassan Ali with the new ball has got the ball to skid off the surface as well, so it is the option.
And if he happens to be able to swing it back in a little bit as well, that'll just change a bit of technique focus from the South African batsman.
Oh yeah, good ball, Shaji.
80 gone, new ball due.
Here, legacy could be ripped apart. A joker could make us all cry. And the stage is set for the greats of tennis. Australian Open, no place for impossible. Only on Sony Sports Channels.
Everton versus Tottenham Hotspur, live on Sony 10-2.
Hey. Hassan Raza is saying new ball is now going to operate. Shaheen Afridi, well, Babar asked him if he wanted to bowl a couple of deliveries with the older ball. He said no, I just want the new ball straight away. Crucial part of the game. Will this new ball exaggerate those little cracks in the pitch, exaggerate them in terms of getting extra bounce or just skidding through? Important now to see if Shaheen Afridi gets the ball to swing back in. Hasn't been swinging a lot in this test match for him with the new ball.
Should get a bit of extra bounce as well with his height and the harder ball. Should. Bit of swing back into Bavuma.
does get the ball to tail back in. And just started off too straight. Nicely done by Numan Ali, but there is a bit of swing for Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Which I'm not sure we saw at the start of the innings, actually. We didn't see that swing back into the right-hander, so there's a bit now. It's certainly a little bit cloudy. This line wasn't right, but you'll see it go. When you're facing a new ball, when it's suddenly brought into play, things just happen a little bit quicker. That's the difference it makes as a batsman who's been there for a while. You're used to the track being on the sluggish side and the ball being a little bit softer and a little bit older. Now it all just zips through a bit quicker.
Oh, he's searching for it. He's going searching. There is that little bit of shape back in.
And this is good work from Pakistan, because that's something that's problem Markram, or given problems to Markram in the past. Now, on 107, you wouldn't have thought it would. But previously, when he's been openly batting for South Africa and has just arrived in the middle, ball swinging back in towards his pads has been a bit of an issue. I wouldn't think it's going to be an issue now, though.
He's trying that yet again. Maybe just slightly too full. Well, it's interesting. Pakistan, well, after a long time, come back to play in Pakistan. But once they went to the UAE, it was all about spin. And the UAE has been the best in terms of spin bowling in the fourth innings. And look at Pakistan. That is a surprising stat. Fourth innings, the worst average. So it almost negates the theory that, especially in Pakistan, that you get to the fourth innings and the wicket will break up and will spin sideways. It'll be very difficult to bat on. Look at that.
No Pakistan spinner has taken a 5-wicket haul in the fourth innings in Pakistan since '87. That's something that was a bit of a talking point, actually, at the start of the series. If this is going to happen, that spinners need to play a role on the fourth or fifth day of a test match. Could they do that? Could they follow through?
It's a stumps, but with a throw. 240 for 3.
Here, legacy could be ripped apart.